Okay, the final part of this video. This is all the sediment that was in my wastewater. I spoke about this earlier in another video, how you filter the water and you will see how much sediment accumulates in your water. Anyway, this waste sediment will become another bowl. I started this with a balloon and I just patted the sediment around the balloon, but the balloon deflated, so I had to quickly put it in this strainer, but it has the shape, so it's just going to dry in that shape, and I'm using the strainer just as a support. But you know, what's so neat about this, and I know paper making is so old and you know it's not current, but I just love it. But the fact that you can take something that you would throw away and turn it into beautiful paper, and then be able to turn it into objects other than paper, I just really enjoy it. So I have my glitter line of papers, and now I do believe I'm going to have a glitter bowl. And there's nothing that needs to be done to this bowl, just you know, coat it with protective covering. But you can see the glitter pieces, you can see all the pieces, all the different types of paper that was used that day. And this did come out to be a pretty almost robin egg color, so we'll see how it looks when it's dry. It'll be something different, but I think that's really neat. Okay, that's it. I better not make another paper video unless it's something totally different. Okay, bye. Okay, this is the bowl that was created out of the sediment from my hand making paper. It dried. You see how the edges are not finished, as they would not be. So I'm going to use these papers to complete the bowl. This one to finish, give it support and to create a stand, and these for the finished edges. These were made, and you know, they're not perfect, so even though they're quite pretty with all the different pieces of paper, I'm going to use these just for cosmetic purposes on the edge of the bowl. So that's the next step. Okay, this is the next installment on this little bowl that has been created out of waste sediment in your handmade paper water. So the first time you saw this bowl, it was just a bowl that was made on top of a balloon which had a jagged edge. Since then, I took a piece of handmade paper that was similar in the color and built up the edge. I wanted to keep the beauty of the bowl, but since I'm trying to change it into like a great big goblet type of thing, so I've added this base. So today I will be firming up this base with paper, and then the final decorative pages or paper, handmade paper, will be applied to the base and to the edge of the bowl. So this is what this is looking like right now. Part of me thinks I should have just made a low base, but I'm going to continue with this. But remember, this is something, this bowl is something that you would have just discarded. So this is the next part on this. Alright. Okay, this is once again Wednesday, September 16th, and I am finished with this project. I don't even know what to call it. I think I'm just going to call it a goblet or a candy bowl. And it looks kind of shabby chic. This was the bowl that was, initially it started out with just this part. It was the waste sediment that was collected from the water that I use when I make handmade paper, and it was such a pretty green, and it had all the bits and pieces of whatever I included in the paper that day, sparkle and fabric and yarn, and I just decided to keep it. So it just started out as a really naked bowl with a very ragged edge. It did not have this did not have the base. It was just a bowl, and it did change quite a bit. I had to finish the edge, so I did add some more paper there. I wanted to not make it just a low bowl, but kind of like a goblet, so I had to incorporate a column and a circular base, which I did, and I ended up covering that with some of the paper that I had made that day, this beautiful type of sea green. It just has everything in it. It has thread. You can see white thread, blue thread, sparkles, paint splatters, cellophane, just everything. And I really kind of like this. You know, it's not perfect, it's imperfect, but I think what makes it cute is just that it's imperfect. So I'm really happy with this. And yeah, this was made out of something that would be down your drain or in a garbage container somewhere. So if you are a hand paper maker, I'm just a beginning paper maker. I've done it like less than 10 times, I believe. But I'm always amazed at the sediment that we think about throwing away. This is what became out of that sediment that I would have thrown away but decided to keep. So if someone else has, you know, does something with handmade paper sediment, let me know, because it's excellent medium to use for casting and just anything else. This was, once again, this bowl was created by just placing the wet sediment over a balloon and allowing that balloon to dry. So my goblet, my ocean sea green goblet. Alright, that's a final on this one.